Welcome back to another episode of Poured Perspective, Vino with Alvino, a StorChats podcast. I am Christina Alvino, and today I am looking forward to talking with everybody about the journey of FineView Marketing, how I got started, and how things came about to merge in with StorSuite and why that was a good decision for us. And today, while I'm chatting with everybody, I am enjoying a glass of Sauvignon Blanc from Rutherford Hill. It is a wonderful summer wine on this incredibly hot Austin day. So, cheers, and let's jump in. So, when I started FineView Marketing technically, I started in 2017, but it really didn't go full time until 2018. And I started it to be kind of a marketing consultant and help people in the storage industry with different marketing issues and coming up with different marketing solutions. And in 2018, John Manus and Robbie Dunn and Eric Osterhaus approached me about creating a marketing company. They were looking for someone to head up their marketing for their storage facilities with Pinnacle Storage Properties. And at the time, they wanted somebody higher level, and they knew that bringing somebody in-house for what they wanted wasn't feasible with their financials. At the time, they only had 4 or 5 facilities, and anybody knows that at that point you deal with what you have, right? And so in talking to them, I decided that creating FineView Marketing, they were my first client. And at the time, they had a website that was run by another company. And so I was basically coming in to be their marketing director and handle the communication and all the back end work and all the marketing strategy, the SEO, the paid media, all of that. And in doing that, the conversation basically was, we're your one client, take it and do what you want with it. If you bring on more clients, great. If you don't, great. Like, it is up to you on what you do. So with that, I decided, you know what, take a leap of faith, created this marketing agency, and didn't fully have a vision of exactly where it was going to go, but knew I wanted to do something for myself. And so in doing that, I signed up a client here and there, and, along the way, eventually in my first year had $150,000 worth of revenue coming in, just out of the connections that I had with people in the industry that heard I went out on my own and said, I can work with you again. Absolutely. What do you need? And so I had a project here, a project there, kind of started creating different retainer packages and different things that I could do for different operators. And one thing led to another, and the company that was working on the Pinnacle websites decided they didn't want to do that anymore. So we kind of had to scramble and decide what we were going to do. And FineView Marketing websites were born. And so there was another larger operator in the industry at the time that was also looking to create, a website that they were able to manage themselves. And so I saw this opportunity and decided to run with it. And through other connections that we had at other companies within the industry, I was able to find an API developer who still works to us to this day. He's been with us since the very beginning of helping to build out those API integrations for, with SiteLink, with storage, with the other operating softwares. And way back then, online rentals weren't a thing, so it was easy. We built the integration, pricing, promotions, specials, easy reservations, and launched this website platform. And that's kind of how things progressed and grew over the next couple years. I saw an opportunity and I took it. I saw an opening and I took it. And one of the reasons that I started FineView way back when was for that service side of it. I always felt like there was this missing need in the storage industry for someone that not only created, built, and managed your website, but also helped with the strategy side of what that meant going forward. Because building a website is one thing, but it's an organic, growing thing. It never stops. So you need the SEO, you need the paid media, you need the strategy behind it. And so that was really the core of FineView Marketing. That service piece of it was always the backing and the foundation of the company. And so the tech just kind of fell in our laps. That was never my background. That was never something that was in my wheelhouse. So I had to go out and find resources to help me build the websites and help build out that API. And that's the reason that we went with WordPress as our foundation for our websites and our CMS, is because as a marketer, I knew that that was something that I could manage. I knew that I could use that and grow platforms and help to grow business and gain rentals for our clients. And it was an easy platform for me as a marketer to be able to manage. And so that was the decision going forward, was I wanted to create something that was easy for an owner operator to manage, whether it was through us or through a collaboration or a partnership, and giving them access to make some of those changes themselves. That was always something that was really important to me when I was on the owner operator side. And that was something that was always very frustrating to me, was that I, as the marketer, didn't have control of some of that. And so I wanted to create a platform where the operator had control, or where we had control in collaboration and partnership with that owner operator. And that's where we lived for 4, 5, 6 years, until one day we decided that coming together as a whole was a greater solution than everybody acting independently. And so because there was all this cross ownership of all these different companies doing all these things in the storage industry, that we were already supporting each other, being that that FineView Marketing was the marketing agency for Pinnacle Storage Properties. We were also the marketing agency for Storage Shield, and we were the marketing agency for Fire'em. And so we already had been working there. We already had cross ownership with everything. And so bringing everybody together and having more minds just gave us an elevated platform to be able to create that service-minded backing that was always there. But now bringing in the tech piece of it allows us to continue to grow that. And in growing a business, there's always bumps and hurdles and change and challenges. And change is definitely something that I want to talk about more in a future podcast. But those changes and challenges are what have continued to shape who we are as an organization and who we are as a company. And, when I started FineView Marketing all those years ago, I never imagined that it would be a 5, 6, 7 person agency to now a 60-person team of incredibly smart, innovative, powerful individuals who want to create something for owner operators and still focus on that service side. That is where every single one of our companies started, was to create service, was to create partnerships, was to create collaboration. It was never strictly to be that vendor-owner relationship. That wasn't our vision. That wasn't our goal. And while there are some of those relationships that we have and some of those clients, our number one goal from the very beginning for everyone was to create this service-based company. And now by bringing in the tech piece of it, we can now elevate all of those services by having that technology back it. And we're looking forward to continuing to grow that, and can't wait to see what the future holds. So I hope if you take anything away from this today, I know that was just kind of me talking through the history of how we got here. Change is inevitable in everything we do in life. How you handle it, how you come through it, and how you end up on the other side is what really matters. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make something that's great for ourselves, for our team, for the industry. And cheers.